Okay. Okay, so I have 11:58. So let's see, we'll another minute. I know we got people coming on.
Is Mo moving the slide now, or you can still move the slide, Trina? Okay.
Oh, because Mo's gonna have to move it.
I
All right. Is
am.
that okay, Mo?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, so we still have some people joining. Good afternoon, everyone. We'll get started in 1 minute. It's so great to see all of you on. I go through my spiel, I do see some of our board members. We encourage you all to turn your cameras on. We like to see beautiful faces of our members.
Hi, Keely. I'll be on in a second.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Roundtree. And not only our board members, we're encouraging everyone to turn their cameras on. Okay, so I have 11:59. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Keely Gideon Taylor. I have the privilege of serving as the president of the board of directors of the Black Chamber of Commerce of Palm Beach County. And we want to welcome you this afternoon to our Wednesday Wisdom series. The Wednesday Wisdom series was started during COVID as a way to keep our members informed and educated during the pandemic as we all went home and started navigating Zoom and all of these other platforms. But this series became so successful that we continue to keep this virtual session into our mix of events. So today we have a very exciting topic. I Think Financial, who's been a partner with us for many years, is the host sponsor of today's Wednesday Wisdom. And as you can see on the screen, they're going to be talking to us about smart money management for startups and side hustles. And as I was told, everybody needs a side hustle, so I'm going to have to work on mine. But today we have joining us Mr. Jeffrey Fine, who is a sales director, and Monique Barber, who is a branch manager with the West Palm Beach location and also the startup business director, owner. So again, I'm going to just share some housekeeping rules. We do invite you to mute yourselves unless you are talking so that we can hear our guest. We invite you to turn your cameras on. We like to see beautiful faces. We are live streaming, so that's another reason to turn your cameras on. So, this will be shared on our YouTube and Facebook. So please, if you can, turn your cameras on. I do want to just give a shout out to Katrina Blackman, Katrina Wave. Katrina will be monitoring the chat. So if you do have a question during the presentation, you want to pop it in chat, we can bring that up, share that with our guests a little bit later. And also want to shout out Tracy Thomas, who is running the live stream. So both of these ladies are working behind the scenes to make sure that we deliver quality to our members. So at this time, I am going to turn it over to Jeff and Monique to get on with the presentation.
Thank you, Kaylee, and Katrina and Tracy for helping us set up this meeting. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. As Kaylee said, my name is Jeffrey Fine. I'm the sales director of I Think Financial, and we are the largest credit union in Palm Beach County. We've been serving this community since 1969, and our mission is to help everyone in this county reach their financial goals, whether it's an individual or a business. And one thing, and my guests, this is the first time we've done this presentation. Katrina and Tracy and I came up with some ideas of something that we thought would make some compelling, useful information and for the community. And so indulge us as we go through this. We may have a hiccup or two, but I think we're going to have a great conversation. And joining me today is Monique Burton, and she is the manager of our West Palm Beach branch. Monique and I have worked together since, I think, 2019, maybe 2020. She was my assistant manager for a while. And then when I was promoted to become the sales director in 2021, she became the manager of that branch. And she's a fantastic manager. And in her job as manager, she probably opens every year between 60 and 70 business accounts for new members. And most of them are startups or side hustles. So she's very well versed in the types of activities that banking activities that those businesses need to do. But additionally, one thing that makes me very proud of Monique, and really the reason that we're here today, is she is also a successful business owner. She has a business that she started in 2022 named Mo Knows Cleaning, and it's a cleaning business that she runs as her quote unquote side hustle. And I watched her as she went out there and organized this business and spent her personal time after work and on weekends getting the business going. And this is not some type of business where she takes it very seriously, I should say. This is an actual business with employees that she is running as the owner. And it makes me very proud of her. And it also, I think, makes her uniquely qualified to have this conversation today because she knows the banking side of it and she knows the business side of actually running a startup business. So we're going to go, she and I sat down and we identified what we thought were the 8 most important things that she had to do when she was starting her business and to keep it growing and keeping it functioning like a professional business. So this will just be a conversation. If you have questions as we go through, raise your hand and Katrina will ask us. And we get to the end, maybe we'll open the floor for more questions. The goal today is just to hopefully spark some inspiration and maybe some good advice. So Monique, how are you doing this morning?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you, Black Chamber, for having me today. I'm excited to be here with Jeff today, as he mentioned before, to talk a little bit about startup business. And I know that Ms. Blackwood said earlier that she had 2 of her kids that she's actually going to be helping to get their LLC. So guys, I think this is going to be a great program.
Right.
So I'm doing
so
great.
Monique, I gave you a little introduction there. That was mostly accurate, right? Monique knows I'm not a great listener. She has to tell me things like 14 times before I absorb them, but I think that was pretty accurate. Let's talk about, can you talk a little bit about what your business is first so that as we frame this conversation properly? What do you do? Why don't you first talk about what you do as a manager of the branch, just your general responsibilities and about your business?
Absolutely. So again, I'm Monique. Everyone calls me Mo. I'm the branch manager for the West Palm Beach location. I have been at the credit union for over 7 years. I love what I do. Number one, meaning I love to help people. I love to help them with their financial goals. I love to help them if they have a question, pretty much to direct them in the right path. I love when people ask me questions because I always have to, if I don't know the answer, I'm going to figure it out and I'm going to help them to get, their financial goal. I love to meet family, especially the babies. Like I have a 10-month-old, I definitely want to get them into that right savings account or start saving for college or, is it a CD or certificate that the parent would like, to have for this child? So I've been into the banking field for over 14 years, actually. Been with iThink for 7, and I just love what I do. I mean, I love to help. I love to help everyone. I know I have a few of you I have seen before at the Black Chamber, but I'll definitely be doing more and more things with the Black Chamber. So that's pretty much it for iThink Financial. As Jeff mentioned before, he was my previous boss, still one of my bosses. And he's always teaching me, the ropes in and out of how to help people. It's all about helping others. Because when we help someone, of course, at the end of the day, we feel great about what we do. So with the 14 years that I have in banking, I decided to take that over to something that I love, something that I'm passionate about. So in 2022, around July 2022, I thought about it. I'm like, I need to do something that I like, something that I enjoy. I tell people all the time, if you're going to do something like a LLC or business, whatever you want to call it, do something that you like. Don't just do something for the money. Don't do something because you think, oh, I think I'm going to make an extra 5 grand a month and you're not going to enjoy it. Do something that you're passionate about. So, growing up back in Jamaica as a little girl, I always saw my grandparents clean. They always go out and they clean for elderly people, these estates, big homes, making sure that these homes were clean and spotless. So that's where I got my cleaning skills from, because a lot of time you go into homes and people actually don't think that you have to start with dusting. You actually do. You can't just go in and just clean the desk and don't dust. There's always going to be something going on. When you're finished, you're going to see dust all over the place. Then you're going to say, did I really clean? But you did, but you didn't do the cleaning the right way. So I started there thinking, what am I going to do? And I said, you know what? I think I'm going to start a cleaning company. And before I did all of that, I said, oh my God, what am I going to call the company? I have to have a catchy name. I want a name when they hear the name, they're like, yeah, that's Mo. Yeah, that's Mo. So I thought about it and I'm like, okay, what about Mo Nose Cleaning? If I'm really passionate about something that I do, I need to know what I'm doing and I need to know what I'm saying. So that's how the name came up, Mo Nose Cleaning. Again, everyone called me Mo instead of Monique. Feel free to call me whichever one. But that's
Monique,
what made me go ahead.
one thing that I like, this is not lip service that you're just saying you really are passionate about cleaning. When we worked in the same office, Mo would go in the back into the kitchen like every day and be like, I'm cleaning the kitchen now. And it would be like a spotless kitchen that you can eat off the floor. At my house, I'm known because I tell my wife I don't understand how a mop works. Like it seems like you're just pushing water around. I don't know anything about cleaning. And Mo would like take our office and turn it into like the Taj Mahal. So she really identified something that she was passionate about it, even though you would think like, oh, a lot of people aren't passionate about cleaning, and also something that she excelled at. How much, so you had this business idea, how much money did you have to invest to start the business? Can you give us a
I'm
little
gonna be
idea?
honest with you, under $1,000.
What did the money go towards?
So the money went towards the basic cleaning supplies like the broom, the mop. Of course, you're not gonna go and start and say, hey, I'm gonna buy 10 broom or 10 mop buckets because they're a little pricey. So you definitely want to start with, like a lower portion, like do something small. You're gonna do 3 items, 3 of each items, the duster, the broom, all the items that you think that you need to start a cleaning company is what I did, the vacuum. So I started with the basic items and then I grow into the bigger items.
Now that you've been doing this for 3 years really successfully, it's grown. Do you feel like you made the right choice on the business?
Absolutely.
Type of business? Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
Let's move on to the next slide because I think that's a good segue. So you had this idea, you're like, hey, I'm working full time. At that time, you just had one child. You were work hard, you're full time. You had this idea like, hey, I want to start my own business as well. So continue to grow as a person and grow my finances, which made me very proud of you. So then what was the next thing you did? Like, how did you come up with a business plan? I know you hired a business consultant, but why did you hire a business consultant and how did you find a business consultant?
So we know that the chambers and all these areas are always big on networking. I always say ask questions. If you don't know something, make sure you ask. And I did a little research. So I actually spoke to one of my friend and I said, hey, I'm thinking about starting a cleaning company. What is your advice? Like, do you have someone that can actually help me with a business plan so I can let them know that, hey, like, this is what I want. I need my financial goals to be in this order. In the next 5 years, I want to see myself here. I want to make sure my company is growing. I want to make sure my operations, my bookkeeping and all that is well taken care of. And she sent me over to a lovely lady and we spoke, we had a Zoom meeting and she told me, hey, the pricing is going to be about, $1,000 at that time. So at that moment, I did not have the $1,000 to start right away, but I was able to do it within that month. So after I met with her, I said, okay, these are the things that I would like to do. I would also like to start a foundation, within 5 years. And I must say I'm gearing towards that right now. So I think I'm feeling pretty good with the steps that I take.
Yeah,
So it's
one thing
very
you
good
and
to
I
have a business
you
consultant.
you and I both know. So your branch probably opens 60 or 70 business accounts a year, new business accounts that either they're a new business or they haven't banked at I Think Financial before.
Yes.
In our region here in Palm Beach County, as a group, we probably open over 400, and we are over 400 this year. New businesses that have started and started banking at I Think Financial, and I meet with a lot of them. I met with one young man this morning who's starting a school out here in Royal Palm Beach. And I think, Mo, you and I both know, like the people that come in and they have a plan and they're organized and they have engaged a business consultant and they've set some targets and some goals for themselves. I think in general, those are the people that they're more successful at a higher rate than people who just, some of the businesses are smaller and they're just like, hey, I'm going to start it and see what happens. But I think the ones that you and I have really seen grow, like your business, are the ones where you sat down with a consultant and you made a plan and you set targets for yourself and you treated it, even though it was small and even though it was new, you treated it like it was a professional company. You didn't treat it like it's going to be Jeff doing slice and bake cookies in his toaster oven and then going on the sidewalk to sell them, which is also fine. But you made an actual business plan because you wanted to grow. What were I know one of the things we talked about was some targets that the consultant set for you. What were the targets that the consultant set?
So we talk about like my financial goals. So we set a
Mm-hmm.
target for
Yeah. Or like
3
what
to
did
5
you learn
years.
from the consultant maybe that you didn't know, that you hadn't thought of?
Well, I did my research, so I had an idea what a business consultant would do. You would actually have a meeting with that person. You're sharing your business ideas, and they're telling you like, hey, this is a good idea. This is what I think you should do. Now let's talk about your finances. Let's talk about your operation. Let's talk about your taxes, because they want to make sure that all the things that is needed to make the business successful, that I'm focusing on all those things within my business plan. So, go ahead.
And did the consultant make an actual plan for you, like a written
Yes.
plan?
So I actually have my business plan. Yes, I do have it.
How long was that?
How long? The pages or
Yeah.
how long did it take?
How many pages? It was I know, because I'm asking
Yeah.
questions that I know the answer to, but it was an extensive plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Right.
is.
Like many pages long.
Yes.
Right. And that probably, I'm guessing, I know it gave you like a feeling of security, like, hey, I've got a plan. I've got someone that's got my back. This person has vetted my idea. This is what they do. They look at businesses and vet the idea. And the person said to you, like, hey, this is a good idea. You should move forward, right? It's worth investing some time and money into that. And I would imagine the confidence that that gave you was at least part of your success, right? You're a very confident person, so you would be successful no matter what. But I would imagine that just reinforced your belief that this was a good idea to go forward. And I know, because I've been with you throughout this journey, like there were a lot of challenging times and it's stressful, and having that little extra bit of confidence and taking that money that you invested in hiring a consultant probably was a good idea. I know you think it was a good idea, right?
Yes, absolutely. So anyone that's, planning to start a business, I could definitely refer the person that I use, but I think it's a great idea. You definitely want to have structure.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next slide. So you were already an expert networker because you were managing a branch of a credit union, and we are very involved in the community as much as we can be. I'm out all the time. You're out all the time. We love meeting people. We love telling the story of the credit union and why credit unions are great. Excuse me. But so how did you treat it when you had your own business? What did you do? Where did you go?
So the first thing that I did, because I'm a part of the Chamber of Commerce, I'm also part of the Black Chamber, but not for my cleaning company, but for the chamber. So the first thing that I did is I actually sat with one of the ladies and I said, how can I join? Which I know how to join, but I still wanted to know, was there different things that I could use? Could I use their platform to help me market my business? What additional things that I could do? And they pretty much told me, the package that I needed to join. So I end up joining. At the time when I joined, they were actually having issues with their cleaning company. So I was able to slide right in. So I've been there 2 years, which is great. So it's all about, communication. It's all about being out there networking because you never know who's going to help you along the way. And that's why we network. We want to meet people. If someone comes our way, a tax accountant, we want to be able to say, hey, Keely, I have a great person over here. Try them out. So it's all about networking at the end of the day and just being positive in the community and help others because when it's your time, it's your time.
When you go to a networking event, when you were doing that, when your business was starting, how did you describe to people what your vision was?
I told them the same way how credit union would say that, we're the #1 credit union in Palm Beach County. Although I was 6 months, 3 months in, had no idea where this was going to go. I always say I was the #1 cleaning company in Palm Beach County. For some reason, I always said that, which was funny because I'm like, oh my God, where am I going to go? I don't even know what's going to happen with the business. I don't know if I'm going to make it a year, 2 year, 3 years, but I've always had that vision. I am the cleaning company of Palm Beach County.
And you know what I think is really neat about your business is some of the businesses with whom you work, you manage their bank accounts for the credit union or help manage them. They found out that you had a cleaning business and they because you're so good at helping them with their banking, they're like, well, this person seems like organized. We should have them do our cleaning. So you got a couple corporate clients that way, I know, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is not Mo just only like going and sweeping up somebody's foyer. She has big corporate clients where she's cleaning office buildings for large companies. I know the one space you do on Military Trail that you and I have a good relationship. That's a big building. I don't know how you clean that, how often you clean that. That's a big space. So it makes me very proud of you that people trusted you to do that. And also, I think it speaks really well of the credit union that we've always been like super proud of you and supportive of that. All right, next slide. Social media and websites. Everybody's on the social media all day long. Monique, tell us how you use social media for your business, especially when you were first starting. How did you approach it?
I started with
You were not a big social media person individually.
no, I'm not. And that's the funny thing about it, because I might make a post once a month, but I'll
Right.
tell you about it. So I started with Instagram and then I started with TikTok. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't have time, I'm busy. I'm thinking about managing the credit union. Then here I go, have my side hustle I'm trying to do. How am I going to do all this? So I started off, pretty much doing one post, two posts here and there. And I was like, oh my God, I think I need a little help with my marketing. Started the Facebook, the LinkedIn, or the social media platform. But I realized that I didn't have the time. I don't have time to actually post as I should, or even share my reviews for my customers as I should, or even share a video with a cleaning that I'm doing because I'm always so busy because Monday through Friday, everyone know I work for the credit union. And on the weekend, I'll do the cleaning when I'm able to. So I end up getting someone to help me with my marketing, like helping me post. I got someone to build my website, which was great. So if you guys haven't checked it out yet, please do so. It's monoscleaning.com. They aligned it with the colors and all the stuff that I wanted to be on there. I wanted it to be a different platform. So when people go on there, many questions were able to be answered as far as your price, who works for me. These people are all, they were all background and fingerprint through the school board. So I'm not just picking somebody from outside the door and say, hey, come work for me. These are people that are professional. They have their other job, but they just need an additional income. So I hired a market media manager to help me with my marketing. And currently right now, which I didn't even tell Jeff, which I'll share here, I'm actually doing a series. Actually just did my second series. The first one, it was Phlegm at the Chamber, where it was an introduction of myself and saying how I started it and what made Mo started the whole cleaning company. And the second series was actually filmed at my corporate office, which is Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies, where a few of my workers are there and they're pretty much going through the whole spill. So check out my series as well on YouTube.
How much would you mind sharing about how much do you have to, what is the general price of having a social media manager for a business like this?
It ranges from 400 to maybe 600, the person that I'm actually working with. So I do the
Like per month?
smallest package, $400 monthly.
How do you measure the impact, like the success of your online presence?
At the end of the month, this particular person, they actually go over with me how many likes I'm receiving, the questions that are coming in my inbox, and we're also tracking my website to see if it got busier from the first of the month till the end of the month, and also how many new clients we're actually receiving.
Yeah. This is, I point out again, Monique, she's doing all this in her spare time. Like, she's managing this very busy branch of our credit union. And anyone that works at this credit union knows she makes all her goals every month. Her employees make their goals. She doesn't, and then she goes and does this other business in her spare time, which is very impressive. But it just goes to show, like, you can't do it all. You have to, you didn't have the resources probably at the beginning to hire a social media manager, but that was probably part of your business plan, that you would get there to that point, and then you have to subcontract some of the work out. Otherwise, if you don't have a plan to do that, at a certain point, you're going to retard your growth. And you and I both work with a lot of businesses at the credit union where the person comes in and they're doing the banking, and it might be their full-time job, but they're doing the banking, they're doing the social media, they're doing the payroll, they're doing this, and they don't have time to go out and do the networking, or they don't something falls by the wayside. And I think that having a business plan to grow your business in a way that makes sense for you and methodically involves subcontracting some of the work out, because that's what allows you to grow. And it doesn't mean you can do it all at once. You have to get to the point where you can do that. So I'm glad you got to that point. Let's move on to the next slide. I saw Sherrod Walker's on the call. Shout out to Sherrod Walker. He was in my office this morning. I'm glad you made it.
Thanks for having
Monique.
me. Thanks for the invite. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Monique, this is these are things that we talk about all the time too with our businesses. Managing your startup's money. So how did you, when you were getting ready to, like, hey, now I'm going to have this separate business, how did you prepare your finances and your household for that? Like, how did you know what paperwork you needed? How did you keep your business books? How did you know how to do all those things? And what resources did you use?
So I got a tax accountant because I wanted to make sure that all my—
Oh no, that's the next slide. Not yet. You didn't get one yet. You didn't, not yet. This is more like, how did you get the paper? Yeah.
It's a great conversation.
This is like, I got the right paperwork to open my business, and then I had separate business accounts.
Oh yeah. So what I did after I started the cleaning company, maybe about a month in, I said that, okay, I need to get a business account. So I did a little research on Google. I was always on Google, looking for questions and seeing what exactly I need to do. So I said, okay, I did some research and it said, always do 2 separate accounts. So I had one for payroll and I had one for taxes. So if I was out and I was doing cleaning for a business that I'll be charging taxes for, whenever time I got payments for that, I separate that money into the taxes. So therefore, when it's time to pay your taxes and you pay out your payroll, you will never have an issue to pay your taxes, or it will never come up short because you're taking that money out immediately and you're separated into a separate accounts. So I always encourage to always have 2 accounts. Of course, you can have more than one. You can also have one for your savings, but as a startup, you definitely need to have two checking accounts, or one checking and one savings.
When you were managing the business books, what software do you use?
Hi, I didn't use a software.
How do you do it?
I actually went on Google, and they have these planners that actually talk about accounting. So that's what I use for the first. I'm still using that, but next year I'm going to transition into not doing that anymore. But that's
right.
what I've been doing.
That's like that's exactly what we're talking about, right? Like, over time, some of that stuff you outsource.
Yes.
You probably didn't have the capital to invest in all these things all at the same time, right? That's one of the bullet
Yes.
points on here. Budget to buy additional resources over time,
Yes.
right? Which you've done. So
that's what I did.
yeah, let's move on to the next slide. Oh, now we hired an accountant. Quelle chance, what luck. This was the next slide. Yeah, tell us about that. Why did you hire an accountant?
I wanted to hire an accountant because I wanted to make sure I did not owe Uncle Sam. And that's the literal truth. You want to make sure all your paperwork are filed, whether it's once a month, once a quarter. You want to make sure you're also filing your taxes every year. Now, it's very important that you're doing a little research on your accountant. Don't just find an accountant because you see that, oh, this person is here at the Black Chamber. Do your little research. How long have they been in business? Are they a great accountant? Are they doing taxes for other people that you may know? So my accountant used to work for IRS. He was working for IRS over 30 years. So he had been in the business, I would say 50 something years. So I wanted to make sure that I was working with someone that's well established and someone that will not file the incorrect document that I would owe IRS later on.
We've both worked, you and I, in our capacity as running this credit union, part of this credit union. We've both worked with businesses, a lot of businesses who are not filing their taxes, or they're not filing them correctly, or they didn't have a good plan with their accountant for what their goals would be. Sometimes we have a business that wants to get a loan and we say to them, hey, okay, we're going to need your tax returns. And they say, tax returns? What are those? Oh, I don't have any tax returns. And that's a big impediment to getting a business loan if you don't have your books in order and you don't have your taxes filed correctly. But also, it matters how your taxes are filed, right? Like if you show absolutely no income every year because you hire an accountant that's like, oh, I'm going to make it so you never pay taxes ever. I'm going to write this off and write this off. Sometimes that can make it a challenge to get a loan, right? Your accountant makes it look like you're losing money every year. And then becomes difficult for us or any bank to lend you the business money. So I think what you said is true. It takes a skilled accountant to hear what your goals are for growth, just like you would go over with your business consultant the plan. Like, this is my plan to grow. I think your accountant needs to know that as well, so that he can prepare or she can prepare accordingly, right? Like making sure your taxes are filed correctly, but also making sure that they're filed in a way that shows that you have income, right? And that your business is viable and that it's a viable risk for a credit union like ours, who make a lot of business loans in a year. We make loans to very, very large businesses, and we make loans to startups all the time. And we're one of the biggest credit union SBA lenders in the country. And some of those SBA loans are to brand new startups, but the person has to have a business plan when they're starting. And over time, they have to make sure their taxes are being filed correctly. Otherwise, it makes it very challenging to get a loan. So I agree with you. You don't want to just go with the accountant. We've been in that situation, you and I, where they said, well, the accountant, this is what the accountant did. I don't know why he did it this way. And if you're not aligned with your accountant, that can create a challenge as you're trying to grow. Is there anything that you learned from your accountant that stood out, especially?
It's important to file your taxes on time.
Yeah.
Make sure
You
you
probably
do
knew
that.
that already. Yes, and you're very organized. All right. I think this is the most important part, because sometimes I go into Monique's branch to pay her a visit. I always look tired because I'm old. Monique, she is young and vibrant and in the prime of her life. And some days I see her and she looks tired. And I say to myself, man, she's working hard. She has 2 children at home. I wrote here, my question was, you have an incredibly busy life full of good things, but how do you manage your job, your business, and your family without burning out? How do you do that? Sometimes I see you're exhausted, but you're still doing your job to a very high level. But how do you make sure you're giving yourself some mental grace so you don't burn out?
It's all about time management. What I do, I have a planner and a notebook I have one for iThink Financial, I have one for my cleaning company, and I have one for personal. And each planner has something that I need to work on daily or weekly or monthly. It's not easy. It's easier said than done, So when you get there, you might say, oh my God, I don't know how she did it. But literally what I do, I make a daily plan every single day. Okay, I'm going to do this for my personal life. I'm going to do this for my business. And I got to focus on this for the credit union. And that's literally what I do, Jeff. I literally make a plan each and every day. And this is what I always tell my staff, even here at the credit union. When you come in, have a plan. Like, what do you plan to do? You don't just plan to just sit and stare at me. What do you plan to do? You plan to open one account. You want to do this. And if it doesn't work today, then you know, hey, you have tomorrow. You can literally try and get that done tomorrow. So that's literally what I do. Some
Do you
days
work on your business every day? Like, do you have a plan for your side business every day, for your cleaning business?
every day
Like,
I have
every
to do
night you do
something when I
something?
get home. Yep.
Yeah,
Every
every
single
night.
day.
So you have a plan
Yep.
every day.
Yep.
She's
every
not
day I
lying
have
about
it.
the plan for work, because sometimes I'll come into her office and I'm like, can I talk to you for a couple of minutes? And she'll say, no, you don't come up for like 4 more things on my plan for the day. So you're going to have to wait. And then I have to wait until I come up in her plan. So that's good. What do you think it's become easier or harder to manage your time as your business has grown? Do you think it's
Easier.
easier? It's easier?
Yes.
Why?
The only thing is, you have more things that's being added on to the to-do list. But again, if you don't get it done one day, you have the other day to do it. You just have to manage it. You can't try to do everything all at once, because you're going to feel burnout. You're going to feel exhausted. You're going to feel like, oh my God, I'm doing all this stuff for the credit union. Now I got to do all this stuff. So you got to really write down the things, do a couple things each day. Don't try to do everything all at once. And always start with the most important things. What's
Right.
the most important things for the credit union? We got to make our goals. So that's the number one thing on my list, to make my goal. What's the less thing? Maybe calls, maybe, my employees making calls, but we got to focus on what's mostly important. And those things I got to make sure that they get done each day.
Right. I agree. All right, last slide. I think next to last slide, but our last business point. So you, as I said, I'm very proud of you. I'm always proud of the work that you do at the credit union. We've worked together a long time. I'm also very proud of your business and the way you handle your business. And I would like to know from you, what are the rewards of owning that business? I know how hard you work at it. I think the other people, your clients, I know a lot of your clients, as you know, they think it's easy, right? Because they see their space is spotless every time your crew goes there and cleans it. At any time they've asked me for referrals before they hired you, and I'm like, yes, this is the person to hire. And anytime I see them, they're like, that was the best vendor we ever hired, because we never have to worry about her showing up. It's the best cleaning job we could ever have, and there's never a problem. Knock on wood. I'm knocking on wood now. There's never a problem. So you make it look easy. I know it's not easy, but what's the rewards out of that? Why do you continue to do it, and how do you feel about it now that you're successful?
I feel very good, but the reason why I do it is I want to leave a legacy for my children, for my 2 boys. I want to make sure that I'm setting that stage of generational wealth for them. I want to make sure that they're not going to work as hard as I am. I want to make it a little bit easier for them. Of course, they got to push and try and have their own goals, but I want to make sure that I set that pace where they know that, I used to see my mom work so hard and go to her bed late at night, but at least she did something for us that we can just grab and keep it going into the next generation.
Yeah, I think about this often, and I have, as I said, a lot of respect for you and I admire you. And I've never done that. I've never started my own business. And now, as I get a little bit older, I've been very fortunate in my career. But I do sometimes think about that. I'm like, man, I never took that challenge to do that. I'm not sure I have the emotional stability I'm not as organized as you. And I don't think I'm as tough as you, as mentally tough as you. I'm not sure I could take the ups and downs of it. But oftentimes I do think about now as I get older, I'm like, well, this thing that we do that's like called capitalism, that I work in like this corporate machine, sort of like nobody needs me here. And no one really even needs any business, right? If Bank of America went away tomorrow, PNC would just replace it. But you've really started something that's your own and that has your name on it, that you take pride in. And you're a minority, you're a woman, you're a Black woman, and that just makes me really proud. And it makes me think that you're a great example for all of us. Even old white guys like me can take like inspiration that you started something like this, and it just warms my heart. Back to the credit union a little, this experience that you've had running this business, how do you think it helps you be a better credit union manager?
Well, it all has to do with networking. So it actually shows me how to deal with my employees a little bit more, because now I have employees on the cleaning side and now I have my employees on the credit union side. So, it teach me how to deal with them, how to help them to get their plans executed, how to help them with their growth, especially if they want to move up with the credit union. So it teaches me a lot to be patient with them, and also that, everyone has a chance. And I believe that if you put your mind to something, if you say you're going to do it and you really start to jot down those plans that you're going to do it in this time frame, I believe that anyone can do it. And that's what I'm working on with my team. So
Yeah.
they definitely.
And how about people who actually are starting their business and coming into your office? You have a level of expertise that
Yes.
you're not probably going to get in other places.
Yes. Yes. So even like with the, like the business, as Jeff was mentioning before, a lot of times we have people that come in that actually don't even know where to start. They just have an idea and just want to do something small. For example, I had a guy that he does barbering that came in the other day, and I said to him, I said, have you registered your business? And he's like, I've been doing barbering for a very long time. And I said, come, let me show you. I pull it up, show him how to register EIN. I told him how to do on irs.com. I showed him how to do on Sunbiz, because he never heard about Sunbiz, didn't know that he actually had to do that part. And then I told him, you need to do a business plan, and you definitely need to get a good tax consultant. That way, when you're charging these people, you're making sure you're paying your taxes every year, because he wants to do a loan, but he can't do a loan because he hasn't been filing taxes for the past couple of years. But in the meantime, because I knew about the Urban League, that they give out grants, I told him to check them out. I'm like, go over there, find out when they have their meetings and so forth, get a part of a chamber or a Rotary Club, be a part, network, and do a little bit more so you can know more about like free money that's actually out there to help you. So he said that he was going to look into the Urban League. So for anyone that's on the line, Urban League is pretty good with grants, and other institution in the area as well.
Yeah. Let's go to the last slide.
Mhm.
A couple of thank you, Mo, for all of that. That was great, very inspiring. Some of the things that we do at the credit union, just to wrap up, little things that we do. We have like the right bank account. We had a young man in here this morning. I told you he's starting a school, and Mo, you would be very proud of him because he had all his paperwork in order. He was good to go. He had a business plan. He articulated it to me very clearly. And I told him he's just starting. Well, we have the perfect bank accounts for you. We have all of our bank accounts for new businesses. They don't have any minimum balances, and they don't have any monthly service fees, because we don't want to take your money out of your new business, even if it's a little bit. No, you keep your money and you reinvest it in your business. That's what you need to do. We make business loans from very small credit cards for brand new businesses, all the way up to loans for millions and millions of dollars to build a factory or buy a piece of land to put a storage facility on. We just made a loan like that in Boca recently. When you grow your business, like Mo is growing her business into a large business in the industry, in the banking industry, a sophisticated business banking system. The industry term for that is a cash management system, where you can log into all your business accounts at the same time and move money around and send ACHs and receive ACHs. And we have that type of system as well for businesses, which is great and very unique for a credit union. But then I think we also, the last thing I'll say is the other thing that we have as a credit union, we have a lot of resources that we're willing to share that with the community. We have marketing screens in all our branches, and we're happy to put small businesses on our marketing screens and let them advertise to our members. We're happy when businesses come in and talk to our teams at a morning huddle for 10 or 15 minutes, so that it's not me telling our branch team in Boynton about Mo Knows Cleaning. It's actually Mo Knows Cleaning telling them about it. So it's more impactful. They remember the person. We have conference rooms in some of our branches, not in Mo's branch, but here in Royal Palm, we do, that we're willing to share. If someone's starting up a business and they say, hey, I need a professional place to meet, but I don't have an office yet, we're willing to share that space and let them come and use that for a meeting. We love that. And Mo and I both know a lot of people in the community. And one of my favorite things is when someone calls me and says, hey, do you know someone this, or do you know someone, a good person to connect to for this idea? And as a credit union, we see it as part of our job to be a library of information for people and to be a good connector. And I know Keely, so I must be doing okay. I'm moving up in the world. I can connect you to Keely if you don't know her. So that's our presentation. Mo, any final words? Any final thoughts of encouragement for the people out there?
You can do it.
Yeah, you can do it. Any questions? Katrina, Tracy, we have any questions?
Yeah, we do have a question in the chat from our president. Keely, you want me to read it or do you want to ask it?
Hi, I can ask it. And by the way, Mo, I am so grateful that you did make time and for the Black Chamber and we came up on the plan. So, I think we're doing something already. And
Yes.
we are looking forward to welcoming you or Mo Knows Cleaning as a new member soon. But my question is, I've got two questions actually. How and where do you build your clientele and how do you avoid conflicts, or is it a conflict with sharing the clientele of your employer, I think, financial?
Good question. How I build my clients, word of mouth. So I'm out in the community a lot, right? Sometimes I'm with credit unions, sometimes I'm not. When I'm not, I have all my employees, we have a networking group where if we go somewhere, how we started it off when I first started the company, we would pass out flyers. We would pass out flyers. Then I would have emails that goes out. We pass out flyers, we pass out emails, we pass out business cards. So wherever we went, we would pass out a card. So whether we are going grocery shopping, hey, have you heard about Mo Knows Cleaning? Nope, we give them a card. Hey, look us up. If you have any questions, feel free to give Mo a call. All of my employees, we actually do that every single month. So I always tell them that word of mouth is the biggest advertisement. It's not mainly about the marketing, but when you can actually tell someone about your physical experience with Mo, then that person is able to come and say, hey, they cleaned for me and, they were great. And the customer services was amazing. So we do a lot of word of mouth. And we don't conflict it because I think is I think and Mo Knows Cleaning is Mo Knows Cleaning. But all of my
I'll
clients
answer the second part as well. As a
Huh?
company, we're like any other company where some things we do exceptionally well and other things we're trying to get better at. But one thing that I think that we're good at is that we recognize how expensive it is to live in Palm Beach County right now. Our members, we deal with this every day, right? We're refinancing members' car loans to lower rates to try to save them $30 so they can use that money on groceries. We're trying to take their credit card debt and refinance it to lower rates to save them $40 a month so they can make sure their kid has clothes for school. So we understand that. And we understand that some of our employees are going to need to work, have a second job or have a side hustle. And we support that. That's important to us to support. We don't do everything perfectly, but that's one thing that makes me proud of our company. And then the other thing is Monique is not to give her a big head because we got to fit through the door to get home tonight. But she's an exceptional individual. Like her integrity is unimpeachable. So I never worry about that. I never worry that she's at work and doing her business things. It's not a concern of mine. If other people, yes, I might be concerned about it, but not with her. So it just shows that the way that you conduct yourself all day, every day matters, right? Like other people, I might be concerned about it, but her, no.
Love it.
That's awesome.
Thank
Mo,
you.
there's also a request for your Instagram in the chat. They want to follow
Mine?
you.
Oh yeah, people should follow me. No, just kidding.
Thank you.
I have
Any
a
more
question.
questions?
What's
I
your
have a
Instagram though?
question.
Tell them are you putting it in there?
I dropped the website in there too, guys, if you haven't already. I'm sure the social media is on the website. But Mo, I have a question. When it comes to clients that want to pay you via Zelle or Cash App for like a startup, how do you feel about that?
I don't like Zelle and Cash App. I use two formats. You either pay through the website. After your work is done, I send you an invoice. You can pay that way, or you can pay through Square. Now, if it's a existing customer that, say I've been cleaning for them over 6 months and they say, oh, my card got locked or whatever the case may be, I'll make an exception with the Zelle, but I don't recommend that.
Okay. Okay.
I have an answer to that as well,
Yeah.
Okay.
which is that we have, as a credit union, we have Zelle embedded in our system, in our online banking for individuals, but we don't for businesses right now.
Right.
We're considering doing it because we know there's a lot of businesses use it, but it makes us very nervous because one thing about Zelle is when you send the money and you hit send, it's gone. There's no recourse. We can't help you. It's not like a credit card where you can say, hey, I was defrauded and these charges are not mine. And then the credit card company reimburses you. Zelle, we can't help you. So whereas if it's Tracy sending her own money to someone and it turns out to not be a smart decision, and Tracy comes to see me, I'm like, Tracy, that was like, you can't do that. And like, you got to take the hit. That's one thing. But if it's a business, and sometimes the person who's doing the transactions might not even be the owner of the business, it might be an accountant, or they might be co-owners, that makes us really nervous. So I think at some point we're going to have it, but it does make me nervous as well for that
I'm crossing my fingers to that, only because I have been with I Think Financial for almost a year now. And my family, my husband,
I met your husband right where I'm sitting right now. Yeah.
So, direct deposit and it's all works well on that. I'm just waiting for that Zelle, only because, I do work with little smaller startup businesses, and then just trying to transfer money over. I do have another question in regards to, since we're talking about the business tools. I use QuickBooks and have been using QuickBooks, and QuickBooks also has a QuickBooks checking. All of everything is housed in QuickBooks. I would like to understand and know more about this business tool that you have, that maybe I can pay my vendors ACH versus using QuickBooks, because I don't think that QuickBooks was integrating with iThink. So
I have two answers to that. One, yes, I will help you with that for sure. Okay. But two, it should be integrated with our website. It should work with we have a lot of businesses that use QuickBooks.
Okay.
So one of those two options should work.
Okay.
And I'll help you.
We do have a question in the chat from Dr. Roundtree. She says that Dr. Roundtree, did you want to come off and do yours? I don't mind reading it if you want me to.
I see your question. I'll read it.
You see it? You read it? Okay.
Yeah. Dr. Roundtree, who is a friend of mine, says, considering that Monique has a full-time job that supports her during financial volatility of her business, does iThink offer grants to small business owners so they are not going into debt? No, we don't offer grants. Someone asked me that this morning. We're not in the grant business. We make loans to people. We make a lot of business loans, but we don't. Mo, I know you said the Urban League makes grants. What are some other business resources for business grants that you know about, if you know any?
Urban League is one, and
where did you get? Is that where you got your grant from? I know you got one.
Yeah, I got my first grant through the Urban League. They partnered with Office Depot. That's what I was saying. Anyone that's doing a startup, definitely check them out. And I know that there's another foundation, Lost Tree Foundation. I don't know if anyone have heard of them. They also do grants. Lost Tree Foundation. I think they're in Palm Beach Gardens up that side.
Thank you, Monique.
You're welcome, Dr. Roundtree.
You're welcome.
You're getting an email from me very soon.
All right, I love it.
Okay.
Can I ask another question real quick?
Sure.
In regards to employees, Monique, I know you had mentioned something earlier in regards to school board, but do you do W-2 employees, or are you working with contractors, 1099?
1099, and there's 2 of us that are W-2.
Very good. And how long exactly have you been in business?
3 years.
3 years. Very good. Okay.
A little over 3 years.
And how many employees do you have, like contractors that you're working with on your team?
8.
Nice, nice. So you have them set up to where they're the mouthpiece of the company as well. They live and breathe and Mo knows
Yep.
cleaning. And when you get good team players like that, it's important that you retain those team players. Have they been with you from the beginning, or how is your turnaround with the cleaners? Because I know it's hard to find good people to clean, you know?
Good question. I would say half of my cleaners, so 4 of them have been with me from the beginning. The other 4 newer, meaning within a year, 9 months. I had someone that just started 6 months. So no turnaround yet. So far, so good.
Very good. Very good. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And I would love to get the business consultant that you used in the beginning, as far as the starting planning of the business and the business structure. My question to you was, with the business consultant that you have, did they help you with the marketing? Was there any type of marketing plan that was involved with that, or did you do all of that on your own?
I did that on my own.
Okay,
She just did the business plan. That was the
gotcha.
structure, yeah, for her.
Okay.
Mhm.
So when she does the business structure, is that including like the stats? Like, how do you know like your competitors, and for you to get that type of real-time data? Is that what this business consultant does? On
Yeah,
that?
so she look at everything. So we look at, of course, Google help us out a lot. We look at the #1 cleaning company here in Palm Beach County, meaning when you go on Google, these businesses are actually paying an additional fee to Google. So when you put in cleaning company, it will be like one of the top cleaning companies that come up. So we do our research on a few of them. A few are also with the chamber. And we look at how long they've been in business, and so forth, and what areas are they covering and when do they work. A lot of the cleaning companies do not open 7 days a week. We do.
Okay.
A lot of them are Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday,
That's
or
awesome.
they have an early cutoff time. You have to think about that when you're setting your hours and all that, because if someone has an emergency, whether a business, a restaurant, they're going to need an emergency cleanup right away. So what do? You can't call the people that are #1 cleaning company, but they're closed on the weekend or they're closed early,
Mhm.
So we look at a lot of stuff like that.
Very good, very good. And what about the Better Business Bureau? Are you guys signed up and registered there? And have you
Absolutely.
used any of the resources there? Because I know with building business plans, you can get a lot of data from there.
Yeah, absolutely. We have that as well. We've been with them, I think, for 2 years.
Very good.
Mhm.
Very good.
Mhm.
Thank you so
Mo,
much, guys. That's some good information.
Mo, is your cleaning strictly corporate
No, we do
businesses?
residential as
You
well.
do residential as well?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
That's awesome. Any more
Any other
questions?
questions?
Because I have another one.
You got I don't see any more in the chat right now
Okay,
from the
I have
rest of
another
the,
one.
yes.
Where we're at as far as technology, and Monique, I'm in communications and marketing. This is what I do. I want to know if you implemented AI in your company for the productivity as well as your marketing and marketing strategies. Are you guys implementing that?
Yes,
Very good.
absolutely.
Can you name just maybe one tool that you would suggest and recommend to a startup?
Well, I use ChatGPT. I know there's many others out there, definitely for email marketing. We use that, invoices and stuff like that, emails that we send to our clients for invoices after a cleaning is done. All that is through AI, and it's set. So it's like a time. I have it set like after the cleaning is done, like an alert goes out and say, pretty much saying, thank you for choosing Mono's Cleaning. Please leave us a review. If you have any questions, comments, or concern, please reach out to me.
Very
But
good.
for all new clients, I reach out to them personally. I reach out to them on the weekends. So that's why I said, like, the weekends, I'm busy because I have to reach out to these clients to find out how was your first cleaning? How was the staff? And
Mhm.
look at our reviews. They're great.
Love it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I think that this is a really good time of the year for like cleaners, because people are trying to get ready for the holidays and everything. I always looked at residential cleaning companies as being, expensive. And I think that it's just a matter of me assuming that you have to be wealthy to be able to have people to help you clean your household. And I just really been blessed over the last, couple of months to even meet a couple of women that are cleaning house and doing successful with the business, just like yourself with the residential land. And I'm just at the point in peak of hiring people to help me, keep my house maintained and clean, even if it's just once a month, Monique, you know what I mean? So I
Right.
would love to get more information where you could probably even support and help me because I'm busy, but at the same time, just maybe dusting, monthly and you know what I mean?
Absolutely, Tracy.
And we're looking for gift certificates. So we're gonna need to know if you do any gift certificate. Mo knows cleaning. We need some gift certificates for the holidays.
I'll take one. Thank you.
And that is a great segue to wrap this up. But you all, thank you, Monique and Jeff. Audience, you see their information there. If you have additional questions, you can reach out to Mo on Mo Knows Cleaning and get those houses clean for the holiday and ongoing service. With I Think Financial, you can reach out to Jeff or Monique. They're the one of the fastest growing credit unions in Florida, and they have been sponsors of the chamber for a while. And I just want to give a shout out to two of our board members, our immediate past president, Joseph Sanchez, Joe Wave, and then Dr. Dion Roundtree. Before you go, I just want to share some upcoming events. We have very good partners that includes our chamber neighbors. Tomorrow, we're hosting a power networking. I heard networking come up many times during this discussion, and what better way than to do a power networking? That's a luncheon in collaboration with the Chamber of the Palm Beaches. That will be held tomorrow at the Delta. So, registration, I believe, is closed, but you can contact us directly and we'll get you signed up. You want to make sure you sign up through the Black Chamber website. On December 17th, we've got our holiday gathering that's exclusive for members. That is free to members. So that's just our way of thanking our members for, being members and, providing a lot of our members, as I think shares information and education throughout the year. So we want to thank our members. But also I want to also mention that we have a partnership with Palm Beach Drama Works for their entire performance season, 25-26 season. We are offering our members a promo code. So we've got the Seafarer starting next week, December 12th through 28th, I believe. But all of these events and more, you can visit our website, blackchamberpbc.com. To follow us on social media. As we mentioned, this event is being live streamed, so be sure to share this with your colleagues who were not able to join us today. All of that said, on behalf of the Black Chamber of Commerce of Palm Beach County, again, thank you to Monique and Jeff. I Think Financial. Thank you, Katrina, for monitoring, Tracy, and the entire audience. You all have a grand day, and we look forward to seeing you before the year closes.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.